Up in the next weather segment. Sounds good, Danielle. Thank you. Well, Wall Street soared in early trading this morning on news that today's unemployment report not as bad as expected. And now President Obama is looking to make it easier for some people to get unemployment benefits. Right now, people who are out of work and want to go to school have to give up their benefits. The president is calling on his administration to change that.
The idea here is to fundamentally change our approach to unemployment in this country. So that it's no longer just a time to look for a new job, but is also a time to prepare yourself for a better job.
Earlier this morning, the government announced the overall unemployment rate climbed to 8.9% last month. That is the highest level since 1983, but it still marks an improvement. There were 539,000 new jobless claims filed in April. That's the lowest level in 6 months. Overseas now, Pope Benedict is in Jordan today. It's his first stop on his tour of the Middle East. He met with King Abdullah and will later meet with Muslim leaders at a mosque. This is the Pope's first trip to an Arab nation as Pope. He's trying to strengthen ties that were strained when, in a 2006 speech, he quoted a medieval text that was critical of the Prophet Muhammad. The Pope will also visit Israel and the Palestinian territories over the next week.
Now, today's cover story.
Well, same-sex marriage is now legal in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, and Iowa, and it could soon be legal in Maine and New Hampshire, too. NECN political reporter Allison King looks at New England's role in driving the gay marriage movement.
And we are free marriage. This was the scene 5 years ago as the gay marriage battle was raging inside the Massachusetts State House. By May 17, 2004, same-sex couples in the state were allowed to marry.
We got married on May 20th.
Scott Gordykoff watched it all play out from two angles. As an activist for gay rights, he's now the executive director of Mass Equality, and as a father of two young boys who was able to marry his partner of 21 years.
When something's new, and it was 5 years ago, sort of a monumental shift for folks. But over time, 5 years, it's mundane. We're mowing each other's lawns, we're going to barbecues.
Now Gordykoff is closely following the debate in neighboring states. Same-sex marriage is legal in Connecticut and Vermont. On Wednesday, Maine's governor signed a gay marriage bill, and in New Hampshire, a gay marriage bill awaits action by the governor. So how is it that New England has become the region leading the charge nationwide?
It runs the gamut from social reasons, cultural reasons, political, economic, and religious reasons that make New England somewhat different from all the rest of the country.
Arlene Isaacson is the co-chair of the Massachusetts Gay and Lesbian Political Caucus. She says New Englanders have always had a progressive and libertarian bent with a diverse and open-minded religious inclination. And in Massachusetts, the place where it began, she says serendipity played a role as well, with advocates having success at keeping gay marriage off the ballot for a number of election cycles.
It's a good thing we kept it off the ballot all those years because it allowed people to see what having same-sex marriage in their state meant, which for most people is nothing at all. No consequence, no difference, no change.
Most closely watching have been the state's New England neighbors. Hence, many feel the domino effect.
New England is a small enough region, we share a similar culture, we share media markets, there's a lot of back and forth that people in the other states have seen the Massachusetts experience and have learned from it.
Lee Swislow is the executive director of GLAAD, Gay and Lesbian Advocates and Defenders. She says a number of polls in recent months show a dramatic increase in support for gay marriage.
Gay marriage may be gaining wider acceptance around the country, but even here in Massachusetts, the forces to reverse the 5-year-old law are still hard at work.
We're not going away. And again, all of these states still have an opportunity to amend their constitution.
Massachusetts Family Institute President Chris Mino has been fighting against gay marriage for almost 2 decades.
Well, of course, we are very concerned, and we are not pleased with this, but we're not surprised because New England is the most liberal area of the country.
Mino says while courts and legislators have been siding with gay advocates, the opposition has had great traction in the ballot box.
Every state where the citizens have been allowed to vote on the definition of marriage, it's passed with an overwhelming success rate of 68%.
Still, states around the country are starting to follow New England's lead. Gay couples started marrying last month in Iowa, and New York and New Jersey are thought to be not too far behind. Allison King, NECN.
To sports now.